Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Brad McCoy Show, a review of Charles Henderson High School football. Coach McCoy is running a little bit late today, and of course he has practice, and with daylight savings hitting you right here at the end of practice, it makes it sort of tough. But of course, Charles Henderson coming off of a tough 28-22 loss to 5A Baldwin County this past weekend, a game that we did on Troy Cable Live, and hopefully a lot of folks from all over the country were able to tune us in on some excellent high school football. Of course, Charles Henderson ends the season with a losing record, but they still was able to squeeze out a place on the playoffs, the 5A playoffs. So Charles Henderson, 3-6, will now travel to Ramsey, 9-1. Ramsey 2 years ago won the Class 6A state championship, and now have dropped in numbers down to 5A. And Ramsey, of course, one of the top programs in the state. And Charles Henderson will have their hands full in Birmingham this Friday night. But I tell you, it seems like the tougher the game, the better Charles Henderson plays. You know, you look at their schedule. They beat a very good Pike County team to open the season. Then they lost by a touchdown to Enterprise. They beat Rehoboth soundly. They lost badly to Oxford, but Oxford is one of the top teams in Class 6A. In fact, I was looking at their ranking. Oxford is still 8-2, and will play Hazel Green 4-6 in the State 6A playoffs, which start this weekend. So, you know, how many times have you heard this, that it's a new season? Well, it is a new season. Everything starts all over with, and if you win them all, you win the state championship. I want to mention that our show is brought to you by Pike County Ford on the bypass right here in Troy, and of course we appreciate Pike County Ford and their new ownership, and what a great job they do, and to support local athletics, and we appreciate them supporting our show and this show that we bring to you every Wednesday at this time. Of course, some of the teams are out of it now. Pike Liberal Arts is out of it. They were stunned, and I mean stunned, by a good football team this past weekend, which just shocked everybody when the Patriots lost to Glenwood of Phoenix City. Glenwood 5-6 defeated the Patriots in one of the most shocking games of the whole year. I was looking at it earlier. Glenwood won that ball game 50-7. Can you believe that? One of the strangest ball games I can ever remember, especially with a team as talented as Pike Liberal Arts. They were 11-1 coming into the game, and we're looking forward to advancing and winning this football game against a 4-6 team. But hey, Glenwood would have nothing to do with it, and won that football game handily, 50-7 over the Patriots. In other Alabama Independent School games, I want to mention Bessemer Academy beat Northside 41-14. Bessemer Academy beat Northside Methodist 41-14. Glenwood beat Pike Liberal 50-7. Pike Liberal now falls to 10-2, and their season's over. Macon East 35, Morgan Academy 14. Macon East is playing well at the right time. And Monroe, undefeated, beat Tuscaloosa Academy 20-9. And of course, they win. Whoever wins next week in these last four games will play in Troy at Veterans Memorial Stadium for the state championship. And of course, some good teams in it still. And there'll be, if I had to guess, I would say Bessemer Academy and Monroe will probably be the two teams that will be coming to Troy, and they're the two best teams in the 3A rankings. Looking at Class 2A, Edgewood beat Clark Prep 42-0. They've improved quite a bit. Escambia Academy beat Coosa Valley 45-14, and South Choctaw beat Lakeside 46-14. And then of course the other game was Autauga Academy, and Autauga won their ball game, and they'll advance too. So in Class 2A. So my bet is let's see. It's according to who Edgewood plays in Escambia. Escambia coached by former Charles Henderson high coach Hugh Fountain, and they won. They're the defending state champion, and they've been the only team to except for one other team to beat Autauga in the last 2 or 3 years. Of course, back to Charles Henderson. We'll come back to this in a few moments. They lost to a good Beauregard team. At least they were good that night throwing the football. Then they lost pretty handily to Greenville. Greenville, one of the top teams in this region. Then they came back and upset Carroll High of Ozark, shut them completely down, and won that game fairly easily. Then the next week they come from way back at Tallahassee and beat Tallahassee, and it was those two big wins that got or propelled Pike into the playoffs, and which was great. And Charles Henderson into the playoffs with those two big wins. Then last week on live television from right here, Veterans Memorial Stadium in Troy, Baldwin County won the game 26-22. Charles Henderson was inside the red zone 4 different times and couldn't score. But of course now they still get the luxury of playing in the playoffs and starting that second year, and it's going to be a tough one for Charles Henderson. They play, that game will be played, I think, at Lawson Park in Birmingham. That's East Birmingham. And I hope a lot of you be able to go up and enjoy the game. Of course, DQ Tony was shaken up in the ball game, but I think returned, and he'll be okay. Jacorian Boykins still was hurt, number 2. Jaden Scott, played very well, and Bradley Caldwell, Chance Pollard, the senior, came back and played well, as did Tyrell Jones. But it was way too much that stopped the Trojans with the team from Bay Minette. Baldwin County High School was really big up front. Of course, J.B. Sanders played another great game at his linebacker position. Sean McKinney made some more big catches. It was a pretty good effort by the Trojans. They just ran a little bit short in that football game. Now they, as we talked about earlier, they'll be preparing for the state playoffs, which start this Friday night. Some of the games will be played on Thursday, and we'll try to get a hold of that for you. Of course, Troy University's got a big one this weekend. They journey to Georgia Southern in Statesboro for a huge Sun Belt Conference game. Troy had won 11 Sun Belt Conference games in a row, which is one of the best records ever in that conference. Somebody dominating like that, and of course, this one will be a big one. If they can win this game, and it's going to be a tough one, then they come back and play Texas State, which is much improved. They'll play them on next Friday in Troy. It's a 2:30 start in Troy next Friday, or Friday week, Saturday and Saturday week. And of course, a win there will put Troy in a position to go to Appalachian State in Boone, North Carolina on the Thanksgiving weekend and go against Appalachian State. And of course, the winner there will play the winner of the West Division, which right now is a toss-up between Louisiana, let's see, it really actually is going to come down between Louisiana and let me see, I'm trying to figure this out. And Arkansas State's still in it with a few more games left. Of course, the latter part of the season, it's always tough, and we look for it to come down to Louisiana Monroe and Arkansas State in that conference, and we'll see who will end up winning that end. And then, of course, if Troy was to run the table, they would play that game, that championship game, that conference championship game would be played right here in Troy, which would be super, wouldn't it? To get an extra game and play for a championship. And then, of course, the champion would take his title to New Orleans on the 15th of December to play in the New Orleans Bowl. And hopefully, wouldn't that be great if they can play UAB in that bowl game? Wouldn't that be something? And I know a lot of the bowls are after UAB, and we're going to call Johnny Williams in just a few moments and talk to him a little bit about the Camellia Bowl, which a lot of folks are looking forward to that possible encounter, Troy and UAB in that bowl game. But of course, all the bowls want Troy if they can win all the way through, and they would love UAB. It looks like UAB is going to end up 11-1, which is by far the best year they've ever had. And congratulations to Coach Carr and all those guys up there that have done such a great job. Want to mention, get back to this Alabama Independent School. We're waiting Charles Simpson coach Brad, and of course, hopefully he'll try to get back in here before this show's over. But I am here. My name is Mike Amos, and we're going to take advantage of a good opportunity to talk sports with you. If you want to call in, our number is on the bottom left hand of your screen. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back, brought to you by our good friends at Pike County Ford on the bypass right here in Troy.
Pike County Ford, your hometown dealer, now under new management. To kick off the summer sales event, you pay what we pay. That's right, folks. Only at Pike County Ford can you get the same discount as Pike County Ford employees. You pay what we pay. Only at Pike County Ford, your hometown dealer.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
I love my job, and we get to help people who are having the worst day of their life.
You just got to be ready for whatever hits.
She wasn't breathing. She was almost dead.
Stay still there. Stay still. It's fine.
I'm exploring some of the most enduring mysteries that haunt mankind. In search of the truth. My search begins now.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Here's some Napa know-how for you. Your local Napa Auto Parts store in Troy is under new ownership with an all-new fully stocked store. Big deal, you say? Big deal, we say. Like the ownership, the store has a new look, too. We're still delivering the same Napa quality and know-how, but we've increased our inventory and are committed to helping you find the parts you need when you need them. So come check us out. We've got the right part at the right price at the right time. Know-how, Napa know-how.
back to our show. Ladies and gentlemen, the Auburn Tigers getting ready for a big showdown this weekend with the Georgia Bulldogs. Game to be played at Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia. 6 o'clock kickoff on ESPN. It's Auburn, it's Georgia in one of the oldest rivals in college football, and big rivalry going on. And of course, Auburn trying to turn the corner and end up with a good season after falling to I want to say the record's 5-3 on the year. Of course, Auburn came from behind to beat a good Texas A&M team, and they were putting themselves in position. In fact, they were ranked number 17 in the college poll this morning, and of course that's not bad for a team that's had some tough times. But the season's never over, and Steedham, the fine quarterback at Auburn, found a way to score some points late and help win that football game for Auburn. And of course, they had a lot of help from a great receiver who came in late in the ball game and made a couple of miraculous catches. His name was Seth Williams. He scored on an 11-yard touchdown with 1:41 left to put Auburn up front. Of course, want to mention our friends at Pike County Ford today, and we appreciate them so much being a part of our show. Let's get back to what's going to be happening in Troy in a couple of weeks. We mentioned that Edgewood, 8-3, plays at Escambia, 9-2, and of course Escambia, the defending 2A champion, coached by Hugh Fountain, former Charles Henson coach, and Autauga Academy of Prattville, 10-1. It looks like, if I had to guess, I would say Autauga and Escambia will be the two teams coming to Troy, but Edgewood might make a difference here. Wilcox Academy out of located over in West Alabama plays at Chambers Academy. The Chambers Academy is undefeated, 11-0. They're coached offensively by Tommy Garrett, legend. Well, not a legend, but I grew up with him right here in Troy, and of course he's been a good high school coach for a long time. He's their offensive coordinator, and of course they're 11-0, and he's done a super job coaching over there. Southern Academy, 8-2, playing at Crenshaw Christian, 10-1, and man, what a super job those folks have done. And Wayne Grant is their head football coach, and he had just done wonders. And I was looking at some of the information that I was scanning before we came on the show, and I want to give you a little input on this because I thought it was an excellent opportunity for the Crenshaw Christian Academy Cougars to make some real move toward a possible state championship. In that game, the final game of the season for Autauga Academy, for Crenshaw Academy, Crenshaw won the game 70-7, and they were led by a young man named John David Taylor, a running back for Crenshaw Christian. He carried the ball 11 times for 126 yards and 2 touchdowns, and also had 5 tackles in the 70-6 win over Pickens Academy in the first round of the playoffs. Also, Tristan Jordan was the quarterback who led Crenshaw Christian. He completed 9 out of 16 passes for 173 yards and also rushed for 38 and a touchdown in that big 70-7 win. So let's see here. Also, let's see. Jordan was 9 of 16 for 122 yards and 3 touchdowns, and also carried the ball 6 times for 87 yards and a touchdown in that big win by Crenshaw Christian. And ladies and gentlemen, I am pulling hard for Crenshaw Christian to beat Southern Academy of Greensboro. They play them this weekend, and the winner will come to Troy. My guess is Crenshaw against Chambers in Troy Friday week. Not this Friday, but Friday week for that one-day championship events. There are 3 games. One will start at noon, the other will start at 3:30, and the other will start at 7:30 for the championships of Class 1A, 2A, and 3A in the Alabama Independent Schools. And boy, wouldn't it be something for Coach Wayne Grant, who didn't even join the team until July, and has put together another great football year of coaching. And of course, at Escambia, we know all about Class 2A Escambia Academy and their coach, who was such an outstanding coach here in Troy for several years, and we'll be watching and pulling for him. My opinion here is Escambia 9-2 will play Autauga. Now, I'm just guessing. Glenwood, who upset Pike Liberal Arts, will play at Bessemer Academy, and Bessemer Academy has got too many horses for Glenwood. They'll win that one. Then Macon East, who is a good football team, 9-2, playing against Monroe at Monroe, 11-0. And the 2 winners, I think, will be Bessemer and Monroe to come to Troy. So the towns, this is my opinion, the towns of Bessemer, the towns of Monroeville, the towns of Atmore, the towns of Lafayette, and the town of Luverne could be represented in that state championship next week. Take a look at the state playoffs this week, and it starts right here Friday. And like I said, there'll be a few games on Thursday. I want to mention first, congratulations to Florella, a team that was down for a long time. They beat, Florella beat Lynette, which was a huge upset. Florella with 5-5 playing at Lynette. That should be a good one. Sweetwater, who upset Pike County High School of Brundage, plays at Maplesville, 9-1, and that should do it for them. Maplesville is a great program. Notasulga in Class 1A plays at 4-6, plays at Georgiana. Georgiana is loaded. They're 9-1. They should advance. Billingsley 5-5 at Elba, 7-2, and the barbecue's good at Jim's, but Billingsley won't have a chance against the Elba Tigers, 7-2, and they're a great running back. Also, the Brantley Bulldogs, Titletown gets their first opportunity this year to play in the playoffs. Brantley 7-3 at Wadley 7-2, could be a tough one. Wadley is a pretty good program, so Brantley could be in trouble here. Those are some of the teams in our area that I wanted to recognize. Also, New Brockton in Class 2A at Leroy should be a good one. Tough one for New Brockton to start off with. 6-4 and Leroy 7-3. Remember, Leroy played Goshen. Guys, is this running back for Leroy, or did he transfer? Hey, guys out there, they can't hear. Did the guy from Leroy that was so good last year, did he transfer? That y'all played against, that was so good? Okay, so they think he's still playing. And in that foggy game was unreal. Wasn't it against Leroy? Yeah. Okay, Daleville 5-5 at Reeltown 8-2. Reeltown also always had a tough team. Daleville is tough, but I think Reeltown will get most of it. Southern Choctaw at Luverne, pretty tough game for Luverne. Southern Choctaw 7-3 at Luverne, 9-1. Vincent at Abbeville. Abbeville's 9-1. They should handle that very easily. Lafayette 6-3 at Geneva County. That's a long ways to go for Lafayette and Geneva County of Hartford. That should be a good one there. Chickasaw coming up from Mobile to play Highland Home. Highland Home finished the season 9-1. Can you believe that? One of the best years in the history of that school. And the Ayrton Purple Cats, who will be on our show next week at this time, Arrington will not be here today because of some sicknesses on their staff, and they couldn't come. But Arrington 7-3 at Thorsby 9-1. It's going to take a lot of effort for Arrington to make it back to this, or make it through the first round, to have to go up against a team like Thorsby at home. But hey, I like Arrington. Goshen 4-6 at Cottage Hill, Mobile. Cottage Hill is 9-1. And used to be in the Alabama Independent schools. They left there and joined the public schools, and have got quite a program. Goshen 4-6, at Cottage Hill 9-1. And that's some of the 2A matchups. In Class 3A, Montgomery Academy 7-3 at Flomaton 7-3. Houston Academy made the playoffs, and again, they took a coach from T.R. Miller and Bruton, and he became the head coach at Houston Academy in July, and look what he's got them doing, 11-3, going up against undefeated Winfield, 10-0. So, and then Oakman 5-5, playing at Pike County. Coach has got them at Pike County 8-2. I think Pike County should handle what they need to do in this first round. Lamar County playing at Providence. Lamar County is located over around Vernon, and some good football over in that part of the country. And I say that, let's see, Providence 9-1, coached by Kenny Keith. It's one of the best years in the history of Providence football. I think it is the best year. And then T.R. Miller, 6-4 at St. James, and they've got a running back at St. James that is really, really good. That St. James is 9-1, and that young man's name is Tony Amerson. And all Tony Amerson did last week for St. James was rush, for a guy that can't hear himself talk, rush for 238 yards and 33 carries, and scored 2 touchdowns in a 31-21 win over Trinity. So Amerson is an outstanding player. I want to mention another great effort this past weekend belonged to Highland Home running back K.J. Hall. Hall carried the ball 11 times for 210 yards and 3 touchdowns in a 47-14 win over Houston Academy. So congratulations. And then before we get away from here, I want to mention also the young wide receiver from Brantley, Tyler Booker, caught 3 passes for 160 yards and 3 touchdowns in a 37-14 win over Goshen. So congratulations to them. Of course, taking a look at some other scores or state playoff contenders. As we mentioned, Eufaula is at Hueytown, 8-2. Eufaula finished 5-5. Pretty tough road. St. Paul, 7-3 at Opelika, 5-4. And I noticed that the quarterback from Opelika, who played for South Carolina, was a star player this past week in South Carolina's big victory. So congratulations to him. Also, a few other teams that we want to recognize this morning. Of course, Stanhope Elmore playing at Saraland. Also, in Class 5A, a few teams that we might be interested in. Valley is playing at Briarwood of Christian of Birmingham. It's going to be a tough road there. And Fairfield, 4-6, playing at Greenville. Greenville should handle things there. The better the record, the worse team you got to play. In Class 5A, Andalusia 6-4. 4A, Andalusia 6-4, playing at 9-1. Montevallo. Hope you enjoyed our show today, and of course brought to you by Pike County Ford on the bypass, and also Trojan Auto Parts on South Brundage Street. We appreciate both those sponsors for bringing us Charles Henderson High School football every week at this time on Troy Cable. We will not have a Arrington review, and there's also a very good chance we will not have a Pike Liberal Arts review. But again, stay tuned now for the Goshen High School review, the Bart Snyder Show, brought to you right here on Troy Cable by some great sponsors, and we appreciate them very much. We hope you have a great night, and I will see you bright and early in the morning for Bill Jackson Chevrolet's Picks of the Week right here on Troy Cable Channel 2. See you in the morning.
Why buy from Pike County Ford? We live local. Troy is our home, so you'll always be dealing with hometown folks who are all about Troy. We'll beat any legitimate written offer you bring in, so you know you're getting the best deal guaranteed. And no matter what you buy from Pike County Ford, you can always count on the best service before and after the sale. Bottom line, you get good people, a better product, and the best deal, guaranteed. Pike County Ford in Troy, never too far for a far better deal.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
I love my job. We get to help people who are having the worst day of their life.
You just got to be ready for whatever hits.
She wasn't breathing. She was almost dead.
Stay still there. Stay still. That's fine.
I'm exploring some of the most enduring mysteries that haunt mankind. In search of the truth. My search begins now.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone, so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Here's some Napa know-how for you. Your local Napa Auto Parts store in Troy is under new ownership with an all-new fully stocked store. Big deal, you say? Big deal, we say. Like the ownership, the store has a new look, too. We're still delivering the same Napa quality and know-how, but we've increased our inventory and are committed to helping you find the parts you need when you need them. So come check us out. We've got the right part at the right price at the right time.
Know-how, Napa know-how.
Why are you a hot mess?
Did Chef Robert just call me a hot mess?
He did, and she is. And so are they.
Oh, no.
And them.
I got squirted.
And definitely this guy.
Just pressure him at all.
Can chefs Ann Burrell and Robert Irvine transform one of these recruits from this?
Are you cutting on your griddle? Yeah.
To this?
I knew you had a little fire in you.
All new. Worst Cooks in America. Sunday night at 9 on Food Network. Stream live and catch up on the Food Network app.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Goshen High School Football Show, the Coach Bart Snyder Show. And today I'm Keith Snyder filling in for Roy Stroud, who had cataract surgery today. And, of course, we got Coach Snyder here with us, and then his lovely wife, Stephanie, on the other side. So we're going to get started with the show tonight. Hopefully we'll give you some good information about the games last week and the upcoming game this week. We'll start off with the scoring, and Goshen won the toss, and they deferred to the second half, and the Goshen kicked off to Brantley, and with 11:42 remaining, Jelana Franklin returned the kickoff 83 yards for a touchdown, and the PAT took a kill crease pass to Parker Driggers for the 2-point conversion, making the score Brantley 8, Goshen 0. So Brantley then kicked off to Goshen, and Caleb Dawson took the ball 88 yards for a touchdown, and the PAT was run by Brian Galloway for the 2-point conversion, making the score at that point 8-8. And I have to say there before we go on, that's the first time I remember having 2 touchdown kickoff returns run back to back. Also in the first quarter, with 7:53 remaining, Brantley's Tucker Gilcrease threw a 47-yard touchdown pass to Michael Booker. PAT two-point conversion was good, making the score Brantley 16, Goshen 8. And then in the second quarter, with 4:57 remaining, Brantley's Lanana Franklin ran 13 yards for a touchdown, and the PAT two-point conversion was good, making the score Brantley 24, Goshen 8. And then in the second quarter, with 41.9 seconds remaining, Brantley's Parker Driggers passed to Michael Booker, 59-yard touchdown pass, and the PAT two-point conversion attempt failed, making the score Brantley 30, Goshen 8. And then in the third quarter, with 5:37 remaining, Brantley's Parker Driggers passed to Michael Booker for a 78-yard touchdown. The PAT was kicked by Ben Hughes, making the score Brantley 37, Goshen 8. And then in the third quarter, with 8 seconds remaining, Goshen's Caleb Dawson ran 23 yards for a touchdown, and the PAT failed, making the final score Brantley 37, Goshen 14. So this time, Steph, would you like to pay a few bills?
I sure would. We've got some sponsors that sponsor our show every week. One of the sponsors is Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. They're located on 231. One of Coach Snyder's former players, Daniel Macias, he's a car salesman out there, and I know he would love for you to come by and talk Goshen football with him, so stop by and see him. The number there at the Premier Chrysler is 403-4811. You can go look at their full lot full of used and new cars. They'd love for you to come by. Also, Southern Animal Hospital and Resort. This is Dr. Steve Barron. He has services all your pet needs. He's located on 231 South, headed toward Brundage. His number is 770-1838, and he can check your pet out, and he can also have them there at their resort and spa. So stop by and see Dr. Barron at Southern Animal Hospital. That's where we take our dog, Peanut, to see Dr. Barron. Also, Tire Brokers is also located on 231. Stop by and see Ashley at Tire Brokers. They'll service your car and get you a new set of tires. Their number is 770-2715. So you can visit their website at tirebrokers.com.
Thank you, Steph. Coach Snyder, before we get into the stats, if you would tell us a little bit about last week's game. I know it was a hard loss for the Goshen Eagles, but
it really wasn't a whole lot to talk about. Probably one of the most disappointing games as a coach that we have had at Goshen. Our expectations going into that game was much higher. We'd had what we thought was a good week of practice. But you know, a lot of it had to do with how well Brantley was prepared. Coach Jones and his staff have done a real good job there. And our hats are off to them, and wish them the best in the playoffs. And I think our guys understand what we want out of them, and by no means is that what their expectations wasn't met, nor were ours as coaches. And I know that the fans were not, and that's my fault, and I don't want to blame but myself on that. And we'll have had a good week this week, and again, I want to congratulate Coach Jones and the Brantley Bulldogs on the job that they had done getting prepared for that ball game Friday night, and hopefully they woke us up so that we'll be able to play what we're capable of doing.
Well, thank you, Coach. We'll cover the stats at this time. First, we'll go with the rushing for the Goshen Eagles. Brian Galloway had 16 carries for 46 yards. Caleb Dawson had 12 carries for 46 yards and a touchdown. And Tamarcus Shipman had 6 carries for 6 yards. We had a total of 34 carries for 98 yards and 1 touchdown. And, of course, as we mentioned earlier in the scoring, Caleb Dawson also had an 88-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And in the passing department, Brian Galloway completed 3 of 5 for 18 yards. And Will Snyder was 1 completion for 2 attempts for -2 yards and had 1 interception. And on the receiving side of the ball, Mikael Avery was our leading receiver, had 2 catches for 18 yards. Dakari Pelton had 1 catch, and Jamarcus Sanford had 1 catch. On the defensive side, our leading tackle was Christian Andrews. He had 5 tackles and 1 assist. Mason Calhoun had 4 tackles. Dakari Pelton had 4 tackles. Mikael Avery had 3 tackles and 1 assist. Dante Dawson had 3 tackles and 1 assist. And Jakaram Rump recovered a fumble for the Goshen Eagles. So, Steph, if you want to, we'll pay a few more bills.
Okay, before we do, I want to point out we get to see the show here while we're talking. And April Brown with ABC Photography there in Goshen, I just want to give her a shout out because every week she takes the time to take the pictures and she edits the pictures, and every week here on the show you've got up-to-date pictures from the game from this past week. The pictures that are in the background are actually from the Brantley game. So I just want to give a shout out to April real quick because the job she does and follows the team everywhere they go each week and does a great job with that.
And I think you can go on her website if you'd like to buy some of these pictures of some of your kids or your grandkids or just someone that you see that you think, you know what, that'd be a great memory, and kind of help her out a little bit as well for the things that she does. I mean, it really is great to have her there and an opportunity for these young people to have a lasting memory of something that this great sport offers. And you're right, and thanks, Steph, for bringing that up about Miss April.
Yeah, those are great pictures she's got. Real quick, we'll hit these real quick. C&H Auto, their ads up on the screen. They're located on 231, right there under the overpass on 231 near the old Holiday Inn. Their number is 808-1100, and they have a friendly staff, and they're ready to help you find your perfect used automobile. So hit them up at C&H Auto Sales, and you can browse their inventory, and that's actually their website, candhautosales.com. Also, we have the Goshen Farmers Co-op. They're located near the high school there in Goshen, right across the street. Their phone number is 484-3441. They carry feed, seed, fertilizer, all your home, farm, and yard needs. Also, stop by. They have a branch of Troy Bank and Trust there at the co-op, so if you need to do some banking while you're there, stop by. And they also have a tire shop located there on the premises, so you can get your oil changed or get your tires changed. So stop by the Goshen Farmers Co-op. And also we have the Half Shell Oyster Bar and Grill. They're located in the Southland Village Shopping Center in Troy. Their number is 566-1254. The Half Shell has been one of the local favorites here in Troy since 1992. They have a fun, laid-back atmosphere, and on Wednesday night they have live music starting at 6:30. So stop by and have a meal with them tonight and tell them you heard about them on the Coaches Show tonight.
Well, we'll go now to our highlights, and Coach, we'll let you handle that.
This might be short. Either way you look at it, and winning is what we want to do, but I'm very proud of these guys and the effort that they have given and the fight that they've done and the work they've done each week. Here we come down and open the kickoff. Great job by the Brantley team. Good run by the returner. Just missed so many tackles right there, and that's something that we have been working on countless minutes. Here they go. They're going to kick right back to us. And Caleb scoops it up right here. Good move right there. And good blocks, and just Caleb's fast, a lot faster than a lot of people think. And actually, you know, Mr. Mike, several years ago we played in Highland Home at Goshen, and they returned the opening kickoff, and their crowd went kind of crazy, and they kicked off of us, and Brandon Alford returned it the very next kickoff. So it's happened twice in my career. But I tell you, Brantley's got a very, very talented ball team, good size offensive line, and they played real hard. And tell you, they done a good job. Got some great talent, great future out there with Coach Jones. Tucker Kilcrease right there is got a lot of talent as a quarterback. Got a good surrounding support staff with him. There was a fumble right there recovered by Jakaram Rump. good throw right here, beautifully thrown, and great execution right there. Giving them a 16-8 lead. We just good run there by Caleb. Just things that we got to do to become a better ball team, and thought that we'd be there by now, but we are able to get to this next season, and we've had a great week this week. Good play and tackle right there by our Goshen team right there. Mikael Avery, and I couldn't tell who the other was. I think it was Christian Andrews. If you see, our guys really never give up, even though the score is like it is. They keep fighting, keep pushing. As a coach, you can't ask for any more than just people to be able to do that. And a great play right here. That's how we're supposed to get to the football. And great play right here by Trey Dix, and as well as Mikael Avery out there. Those are two juniors. Christian Andrews right there around the ball. I can't exactly see who made the tackle right there. That was a great effort by us. Comes Caleb with another good run right here. And Caleb's been a little banged up for the last 2 weeks, so little hip pointer. That makes it kind of difficult to run, but he's endured it. And great play right there by first-year player Dakari Pelt, and Dakari hadn't played football in a long time, and he done a real good job there. And Parker Driggers running the ball right there. Great play by Will Little. Parker is an outstanding young man. I think he is committed to play football next year at North Alabama. Here he goes again with it, and there we go, stopping that. Good line push by them, but it was another good play by Dante Dawson and a couple of others to make that play. Another run right there by Parker Driggers. You see how tough he is to bring down, but it was a great effort by Cameron Rump, Mikael Avery, and Will Little there to make that play. Got a man locked up right there. We got to make that tackle, and we do. By a host of Eagles, Brian Galloway and a couple of others. And we did not have enough men there. Just a mental breakdown on the field there for our guys. And Cameron Rump nearly makes the play there, slows him down for Brian Galloway and Mikael Avery. Just a great execution right there by Brantley, and not exactly sure who threw that ball. I think it was Parker, though. Just an outstanding young man, Parker Drigger is.
He's only a ninth grader, isn't he?
No, Parker's a senior.
Oh, that's a senior.
Parker's
okay.
a senior. Tucker is a great young man, too, as well. The whole group, they got great young men, just like us. I mean, the ball game's played, and it ain't supposed to be buddy-buddy out there, but, it's a competitive sport, and these guys play real hard against one another, and then they're friends with each other after the game and on Saturday. And that's what's amazing when you watch this sport right here, how you can be so hard and tough, but then be friends after it's over, and that's what makes it so great. Makes it a lot better if you win, though. Good run right here again by Caleb. That's where he kind of hurt his leg a little bit more right there, and he does hurt it a little later in the fourth quarter, and we take him out. Here he goes around right in to a great effort that he made right there, diving into the end zone. Not yet, no, sir. Mr. Mike asked that was he committed to play yet with anybody. He's got. Yes, sir. Troy's talked to him. North Alabama, Purdue, several schools have talked to him. He's got a lot of potential. Straight A student, got good ACT. He'll have his chance. Yes, sir. And there's several other of our guys that's got the potential to get there if they want to. Good catch right here by Mikael Avery, which is a junior. Mikael just builds his confidence up each week. I expect to see some big things with Mikael this week, as well as things to come in the future. And there we go again right there. This is what we should have been doing all night. It's what we're very capable of doing. And there's Mason Calhoun in on the tackle. We finally got Mason working in the direction that we want him to go, and very proud of that. Got Cam Baker in now at a linebacker as a 9th grader, and he's got all kind of potential in the world. Did get some good news today as far as some of the things that could go. Before I do, that's the final right there, 37-14 Brantley. But Caleb Gamble has permissioned and received the facts from his doctors today that he's cleared to play. And we're going to do it a little day by day, and hopefully be able to give him a little bit of time on the field Friday night, and that would be great. And what a blessing that is for that kid to have been in the kind of car accident that he was in, to be able to come back so quick and be able to play. And very proud of that for him.
You want to mention our other sponsors?
I will. I'd love to. We have Monarca's Mexican Restaurant located on 231, and they also have a second location in Luverne. Their phone number here in Troy is 808-9424. They're open daily for lunch and supper. So come on out after the show. This is actually where we're going after the show tonight. We had a special request from Suzanne. She wanted to go eat Monarca, so we're headed out there after the show. Also, we have Pike County Ford. They're located on 231 North. Their mission is to provide first-class car shopping experience. So feel free to go browse their website for new and used inventory at PikeCountyFord.net. They also have a service center where professionally trained staff are ready to service your vehicle. So go out and see them at Pike County Ford. And finally, our last sponsor of the evening is Preston's. They have 2 locations, one here in Troy and the other in Luverne. The number here in Troy is 770-0675. Preston's restaurant is owned by Robbie Richburg, and Robbie and his wife, I think, Robbie runs the one here in Troy, and his wife runs the one in Luverne. But Robbie used to be a Goshen Eagle. He played football for the Eagles, so stop by and talk to Robbie. He's got a fun sports atmosphere out there, and he'd love to talk some Goshen Eagles football with you. And they've been sprinkling some good luck. They've been providing some of the pregame meals for them this year and sprinkling some good luck on it when they deliver the meals.
I'll tell you it is, and he does some good things. And one of the things, I don't think he has it on his regular menu, but he needs to. You're talking about a brownie. That thing is humongous. I think that's, from what you understand Robbie to say it, that's a little something that Coach Brown from out of Troy does. Robbie fixes them some on some away games or snack stuff, and he talks about it. It's good, real good. The only thing is missing is ice cream, probably. And Miss Jane, she's sitting over here to my left, and she likes that ice cream.
Well, Coach, we traveled to Mobile this week to play the Cottage Hill Warriors. Give us a little insight on what you expect from the Cottage Hill Warriors.
This is the first time Cottage Hill has ever been in the playoffs, and they're starting it with a bang. They're 9-1 this year. We're 3-7 last year in 1A ball. They made their move up, and they're hosting their first ever playoff game. And that says a lot for what Coach Brazell has done there with his group. He has got some very talented players. Their quarterback wears number 1, and he is an extremely good athlete. He can throw, he can run, he's very elusive. Stephanie, you got the roster there. What is his name? I can't.
Corey Alexander.
Corey Alexander. He can play, and then the one right under him is
Samario
number 2.
Rudolph.
And they call him Flip. And let me tell you something about Flip. He can flip the field in a heartbeat. He's very fast. He's got a great set of hands. He runs the routes as good as any receiver that we have seen in several years. He is extremely good. He'll make plays. He really helps Corey make plays because he throws the ball. He finds him. I played quarterback, and I found Chris a lot. So it was great to have that partner you can believe in right there. And he's got one in Flip, and I'll tell you, they're good. And they got a lot of other great players. Their offensive line is real big. They got other receivers that do a great job, but Corey and Flip really stand out for what they're doing. And they got a beautiful facility down there. We went down last spring. Coach Kinsaw scheduled them in baseball, and really have a great baseball program there. And I'm not certain of this. I saw Coach Allen come in, but I think Pike Lil may have used to play Cottage Hill, and but they have made some changes, and they've got some personnel in there that really can play, and Coach Brazell has done a great job coaching them. And so we're going to really have to take that long ride down there. We've made it before, and we played a team just as talented as what we're fixing to play in St. Luke's. Matter of fact, Cottage Hill played St. Luke's last Friday night, and
St. Luke's beat them.
St. Luke's did beat them 51-24. I think the Cottage Hill actually did most of their scoring and into the third and fourth quarter. But
and I guess tell everybody when you're leaving Friday if they want to ride behind the fan bus.
Yeah, we're leaving Goshen around 12:30. Thanks to Dr. Brazell, knowing that the distance that we've got to travel, him and the school board allowing us to do that, but also allowing our fans that are going to follow us an opportunity to travel more safely by allowing us to dismiss school around 1 o'clock. Give everybody plenty of time to get home. If you're not going, please remember that your kids will be leaving Goshen on the bus to come home around 1 o'clock, and make sure somebody's there to look after those young people.
And if you can't go, you can always go online and watch the live stream. We're planning to live stream. Unless we run into some technical difficulties, you can watch the game online. If you just go to GoshenHS.com, on the left-hand side of the page, there's a link that says Eagles TV. All you have to do is click on that link, and it'll take you to the NFHS network, and it'll take you right to Goshen's page on there. You will have to buy a subscription for that night, but, I mean, if you were going to the game, you'd have to buy a ticket to get in anyway. But it's very simple. You just register with your email and buy, you can have a single game pass, or you can buy a month's pass or a whole year, but you can, for about the same price as a ticket to the game, you can log on and watch the game from Mobile if you're not able to go.
And I'm going to tell you, we've had a good week. I believe in these guys. I know what kind of young men they are and the capability that they have to play at a higher level in the game of football. And I think it's going to be well worth your time to subscribe to that and watch it, or better yet, make that trip down. They don't want it to end, and it's a new season. Everybody's at 0 right now. So we may be 4-6 right now, but if we'll do the things that we're capable of doing, we can easily be 1-0 in a season that can end in 5.
Well, following our show tonight, we'll be followed by Pike Live. And Coach, I want to wish you and the Goshen Eagles a lot of luck Friday night. And everybody that can, we'd love for you to make the trip to Mobile to see the Goshen Eagles play the Cottage Hill Warriors. So that'll come to a close for our show tonight. Good night, and go Eagles.
Why buy from Pike County Ford? We live local. Troy is our home, so you'll always be dealing with hometown folks who are all about Troy. We'll beat any legitimate written offer you bring in, so you know you're getting the best deal guaranteed. And no matter what you buy from Pike County Ford, you can always count on the best service before and after the sale. Bottom line, you get good people, a better product, and the best deal, guaranteed. Pike County Ford in Troy, never too far for a far better deal.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
I love my job. We get to help people who are having the worst day of their life.
You just got to be ready for whatever hits.
She wasn't breathing. She was almost dead.
Stay still there. Stay still. It's fine.
I'm exploring some of the most enduring mysteries that haunt mankind. In search of the truth. My search begins now.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Here's some Napa know-how for you. Your local Napa Auto Parts store in Troy is under new ownership with an all-new fully stocked store. Big deal, you say? Big deal, we say. Like the ownership, the store has a new look, too. We're still delivering the same Napa quality and know-how, but we've increased our inventory and are committed to helping you find the parts you need when you need them. So come check us out. We've got the right part at the right price at the right time.
Know-how. Napa know-how.
Why are you a hot mess?
Did Chef Robert just call me a hot mess?
He did, and she is. And so are they.
Oh, no.
And them.
I got squirted.
And definitely this guy.
Just pressure him at all.
Can chefs Ann Burrell and Robert Irvine transform one of these recruits from this?
Are you cutting on your griddle? Yeah.
To this?
I knew you had a little fire in you.
All new. Worst Cooks in America, Sunday night at 9 on Food Network. Stream live and catch up on the Food Network app.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Gene Allen Show, a review of Pike Liberal Arts football. And, of course, Coach, you ran into what I call a real buzzsaw.
It was tough. They had like I said, they had a good football team. We knew they were good coming in. The record definitely wasn't indicative of what kind of season they had. They started playing real well late in the year, and like I said, they're big and strong, and they got some really good players, and it's a pretty tough night for us.
This show is brought to you by First National Bank of Troy Brundage and Jim Ramage, and of course his dad Jimmy, and there's been a Ramage running that bank since 1904 when Mr. John Ramage started that bank, and of course I've been one of the outstanding local banks in Alabama for a long time. I want to also mention our good friends at Pike County Ford on the bypass right here in Troy, and we appreciate all of our sponsors. Coach, you're coming off a 50-7 loss. I was doing a ball game over at Charles Simpson. I said, y'all got that wrong, the score, and it just surprised everybody. Of course, you went in as probably a 2 or 3 touchdown favorite, and what happened?
Well, I don't know that we went in as favorite, a 2 or 3 touchdown favorite. I mean, like I said, they had a good football team. It's just one of them nights. It was a rough week of practice. We lost 2 kids at Lakeside. Grant Wilkes, starting lineman.
Oh yeah,
center,
big lineman too.
Tore his ACL.
And he was your senior.
He was senior.
And he was your center.
Senior center.
It's hard to replace a center.
Right, played defensive line, and then we lost Cody. Cody dislocated his shoulder again against Lakeside, so he was out also. But then, then you go to practice Monday, and we had another offensive lineman that had bronchitis that had to miss a couple of days, and we had another one that had a fever that was at home, and so you got 3 linemen that started the Friday night before not there, and then one of them came back Tuesday, but then another one missed on Tuesday, and then then he made it back Wednesday, but then the other one that hadn't been sick, he missed Wednesday and Thursday at practice. So I mean, it was just one of them days, and that's not an excuse because they've been playing positions all year and all that, but we didn't get any reps with 5 linemen that we were going to use.
And the center alone takes your timing away. It's just amazing.
It did because I mean, Scooter was a backup center, and he came in and did. We had a couple of bad snaps, but it's the first time he's really had a snap in a game, and he missed 2 days last week, snapping, and then. We had Holt Steed snap some, who he did a really good job for us, but he was really our 3rd or 4th.
I've seen a center actually almost shut an offense down because if you don't have a center in the snap the ball, they can't get the ball back to the.
You're right. I mean, and it was like I said, it was a rough week of practice.
Especially if they got a big old nose guard on him,
Well, they had some big kids, but they just. We never got that little continuity offensively last week of practice, and the same guys are defensive linemen, so. You never really got a great look.
Well, as tough as it is, you still go home to a beautiful wife that cooks good food for you and
that's right.
And everything. So, regardless of what, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to say is it's not the end of the world, but I know you feel that way in a way. Of course, you were 10-1 going in, one of the top teams in Pike Liberal Arts history. And you at the end of the season like that.
It is, and like I said, it was frustrating to us, and I'm sure it was frustrating to fans and all. We had a really good year, up to that point.
We really did.
And going into the season, nobody thought we were probably going to really be that good. But this group of seniors really, were great leaders, and the kids played together. Played together as a team, all year, and it was the season went by extremely fast. It just seemed like it was, really quick because, it was such, a great group of kids to be around. So, and it was frustrating there. But, and when things started going bad the other night, they just went bad. We gave up a, fumble return for a touchdown, an interception for a touchdown. We snapped another one over the quarterback's head for a safety.
Oh, boy.
I mean, we gave them a lot of points. Now, like I said, they had a good football team. It wouldn't shock me to see them win this week and have a chance to play for the championship next week. But
you know what? And let me say, how many times have you coached a team or you've been around a team that you coach that you told them that you get better every week? You get better, and a lot of teams don't gel until the latter part of the season.
That's
a lot of teams might be 0-5, but then start playing with confidence and get better each week. And at the end of the season, they're playing.
They are. And Glenwood did that. Glenwood lost. They probably started the year 1-4, 1-5, and then they went on a 3-game winning streak where they started running the ball a lot more because, like I said, their backs were good, the linemen were really good, the quarterback was a really good runner.
So they did keep the ball away from you too, then, didn't they?
Yeah, they kept it a lot. Like I said, it was they had a good football team, and they knew what it took to win. And and it was one of them years we were fortunate this year that we had very few injuries. In the past, after 5 or 6 games, we lost a couple of big players that hurt you, and you go into the game and. You lose some games at the end of the year, and this year we were very fortunate that we didn't have very little sickness, very few injuries, until that last week where we had a lot of stuff going on, and it's just one of them games we just didn't get a lot of. I didn't think we got a lot of consistency at practice, and do some things and all that, and it doesn't bode very well when you're playing a good football team, and like we mentioned last week, there's 6 or 7 teams in 3A that had a chance to win it, and. They were definitely one of them, and that, everybody knew they were playing well, and people told us coming in that they were probably one of the hottest teams in 3A. So
did you have much film on them coming in? They look that good on film. Some teams, and I don't know why it's like this, but some teams don't look good on film.
Oh, no,
they don't line up straight. They, but you don't see all of that, do you?
No, we had a lot of film on. They look, they look good, and like I said, they're just, they're big and run the ball well and play good defense. And
of course, they come out of Phoenix City, and of course, Central of Phoenix City has the #1 team in Class 17, the best team in the state of Alabama. And of course, they're able to recruit players and get good players out of the Columbus, Georgia, out of the Smith area, the Opelika area, and whatever.
They've got a pretty big area to get some kids in. I was talking to him after the game. They've got a big group of seniors also, and that's what he was talking about. They're going to have to go out and recruit some kids because,
sure,
like I said, our JV and our Pee Wee, being pretty good, and
we're looking at a program at Pike Liberal Arts, ladies and gentlemen. You end up 10-2 in your varsity. You were at least 7 or 8-0 in your junior high. Your Pee Wee program was at least 7-0.
I think they were 8-0.
8-0. All right, so that's 25 and 2. Coach, that's a pretty good year.
It was a good year.
That's total now. The look at that tackle right there. That means the Pee Wee team and the junior high team did not lose the game.
Correct. Both of them had good years. The Pee Wee didn't even get scored on but a couple of games. So they got really good money.
Kids remember those things and they grow up with confidence.
Oh, they do. And our JV had a really good year. So.
And of course, before we leave tonight, I want to go recognize these seniors and what a great year. And boy, you had All-American cheerleaders. You got a little marching band. I saw them in the parade Saturday. They were great. And everything's clicking on all cylinders right now at Pike.
Well, we got some good things going on. Like I said, the band is, Miss Ford's done a great job with them, and they keep getting bigger and bigger as the year goes.
I think that really is great for your program.
It is, and our cheerleaders have always been, outstanding, and they were again this year, and sure they will be again next year.
No question about it. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into the film of this past weekend's game. The game was played at Pike Liberal Arts. It was the first round of the Class 3A championships, which is the large school in the Alabama Independent School, and nobody expected this, but hey, things like this happen.
Well, they happen.
And then you're coming out, and that was a fired-up band of Patriots, Coach.
Yeah, it was. It was. We were expecting some big things, and we went 3 and out first possession, and they kind of drove down the field and scored on us, and kind of set the tone for the game.
When did you sort of realize you might be in trouble? That was an onside kick.
Yeah, they started the game. They started the game with an onside kick, and Nick O'Brien did a great job of getting on us. But like I said, we went 3 and out, and had to Tristan punted it down close, and then they took it down. Their quarterback's a big kid. He's about 230.
Their quarterback they do a lot of the same things you do, don't you?
They do a lot of things we do. They just, like I said, they're big. Got some good players, and that's a good run by Jade. That was Jade. Jade got hurt in the second quarter, and he didn't play anymore. He missed
the game, Coach.
No, he got hurt in the second quarter.
So you didn't mention your starting quarterback got hurt and was out.
He got hurt, and Drew came in and Drew did a pretty good job for us. It's tough at the end of the game when they know you're going to throw and do some stuff, but he did some pretty good things for us. Being as young as he is. And that was Max and Chip. Max had another big night for us, tackling. I think he was, back up about 14 or 15 tackles again for us.
Boy, he's had a great year and great career.
He really has. That's another decent run by Jade.
That was in the first quarter. They were up 27-0.
Right. They had a couple of defensive touchdowns.
I was wondering about that. Did y'all turn it over much, Coach?
Yeah, we had 3 interceptions and
That's one couple, right there. And of course, when you don't have a center, things like that happen.
Yeah, that's the one they ran back for a touchdown. And that's the play Jade got hurt on.
Oh man, you talking about an easy touchdown, man.
It was tough. That was a good play. Not sure who that is. That's Holt Steed that made that play. Yeah.
Did you ever get your big tackle back?
He came back. His shoulder was still hurt a little bit, but he did a good job.
I tell you what, a great throw by Drew. Boy, he bulleted that ball. He's gonna be an outstanding quarterback, don't you think?
He really is. That pass was to Levi Sykes.
He's only a 9th grader.
Right.
There he is throwing deep, and
that one got picked off. He was throwing to Trevor. I said this kid here was a pretty big kid. That's time. Everybody's still getting to the ball. I mean, I was proud of our guys for not.
Yeah, they look wrong, Coach. They look like they pulled that guard that time.
Yeah, that's a good play by Frankie Jeffcoat. Frankie's a 9th grader also.
Frankie, yeah.
So we had a big night.
This is Drew.
That's Drew again back there. That was an interception. You know, it's like I said, it's tough when they know you're going to throw.
Yeah. So you know, and so when your quarterback goes out, you lose about at least half or more than half of your running game, don't you?
Yeah, Jade. Like I said, Jade had a tremendous year. He had over 1,200 yards rushing for us. And that was another good run by Chip. Chip ended up with probably about 600 yards rushing for us. And that was the safety.
Oh man.
That obviously kills you, but that's a good play by Max.
Did y'all have many mutual teams that y'all played?
Well, we both played Lee Scott. We both played Lakeside. I guess that's probably about all that we played mutually.
Did this team beat Lakeside?
Yeah, they did. They beat Lakeside early in the year. And
you can look and tell that their linemen are big. Look at that big lineman pulling that time.
Yeah, they're big. This is our second bunch also right here. Yeah. A lot of them are second bunch. Ty Singleton made him, caused the fumble there. Unfortunately, we didn't get it, but he caused the fumble. And,
good gang tackling.
Yeah, that's Holt Steve. Defense, like I said, we still, we're getting to the ball. They did a good job. They didn't quit on us, and they played hard the second half, but just got in a little bit too big of a hole.
Coach, what was the score at the half?
43-0.
Man, oh man, isn't that amazing?
It was.
Y'all pretty much shut them down in the second half.
We did.
Great throw and catch.
That was a great. Tristan got up there and took that one away from the kid.
He's been a fine receiver. Don't you wish you had him back? I tell you, he was.
Oh, I do.
But I know you're gonna throw a lot next year with this quarterback.
But we've got a couple of good running backs. With Chip
Fairclough,
Chip and Davis, and a couple of JV guys coming up that can run the ball. So.
He's snapping the ball pretty good now, Coach.
Yeah, I think this is
Fairclough, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Chip made another good run. Good run.
Boy, what running! What great effort! Yes, sir.
He had a really good, like I said, he had a really good year and running the ball.
He's a good defense player too, isn't he?
He was.
That's a good throw.
Player. That's another completion to Levi.
That little guy now, only a ninth grader, Coach, and he playing on the varsity level.
He almost scored right here. I thought he was going to score. He got it down about the yard line.
He did make a great effort.
Yeah, we thought he.
If we had instant replay, might have scored. We
did. This is he threw a touchdown pass to Levi right here. To end the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drew's got a lot of potential. He's gonna be a really great player.
Well, I know it's awfully tough for the kids and to lose this way, but like you said, hey, you ran into a team that was playing the very best that they could play at the end of the year when it counted.
They're playing really good right now, and we'll see how they do this week against Bessemer. So.
Yeah, exactly. I was talking about that today, and of course Bessemer is one of the top programs in the state, but it's just amazing. The quality of some of these teams in the independent schools.
Yeah, there's some good teams that are that are left, and they're going to be ready to go.
Yeah, no question about it. And I was really stunned quite a bit by a team 5 and 6 that beat you like they did. Then Macon East, Coach, continues to roll, beating Morgan 35-14. Now, this is another team that's playing real well at the end of the year. Don't you agree?
Yeah, they're playing well. Macon's only got 2 losses. That was to us and Monroe, and they kind of got a little lucky. Now, Macon East lost a running back a couple of weeks ago. He hurt his knee
Macon
also,
East
but then.
Yeah.
And then Morgan started playing. Morgan started playing real well.
After they played y'all, didn't they?
Well, they've lost 3 games now. They got beat by us in Bessemer, and then they got beat. Friday night, so by Macon East, but they lost their starting tailback. Yeah. So he was a really good player. And,
Tucker Nevin was the quarterback for Macon East. You remember him? He was 16 out of 26 for 306 yards and 3 touchdowns on 48, 30, and 18 yards with 1 interception. And so they're playing real good right now.
They are. Now they're going to get Monroe, this Friday, and I don't think they can play with Monroe. They didn't earlier in the year, and But like I say, when you get in the playoffs, you never know what's going to happen. But they got to make that trip back down to Monroe also.
Exactly right. Always remember the ball's not round.
Yeah, it's ain't going to bounce anyway.
But also taking a look at them. So right now, Glenwood will be playing.
Glenwood will go to Bessemer.
Morgan.
No, they're going to go to Bessemer.
Oh, that's right.
And then you got Macon East and Monroe playing in the other semifinal game.
Yeah.
So the two winners will play in Troy next Friday at 7:00.
Yeah,
be a good game.
And then of course in Class 2A, Autauga Academy, they beat Patrician, and Edgewood beat Clark Prep. Edgewood in 2A seems to be playing very well right now.
They are. When Bobby Carr left there, a few years ago, they had a lot of players that left. A lot of older players left when he left and went to different schools, and they're getting back where they were. Like I said, they dropped down to 2A, which helped them out a little bit. But Autauga right now is by far head and shoulders above just about anybody in the AISA.
Well, they're really good now. Do they must recruit?
They bring in quite a few.
Of course, the former now the pro player that played at Alabama played at Autauga.
Yeah, O.J. Howard played there, and he's actually, from what I understand, gave him a lot of money, bought him new uniforms, bought him.
Oh, did he really?
Bought him shorts and warm-ups and all
he
that.
He got it, did he?
I'm sure he needed. That wonderful
write-off,
So.
That really. That was a great gesture.
It was.
Trip Carter, their quarterback at Autauga, completed 12 out of 16 passes for 173 yards. Also rushed for 38 yards and a touchdown on 3 carries in a 42-0 win over Patrician.
Tripp's a very good player.
And of course, he's the coach's son. Is that right?
That's correct.
Is he a senior?
He is. He's a senior. He's
a left-handed kid, coach, or right-handed?
No, he's right-handed. He throws the ball well, but he hurts you more. Getting out of the pocket and making you. When he breaks the pocket and you got to come up and try to make a play. He throws the ball real well because he runs. Exceptionally well also.
Another kid I wanted to mention, Macon East. You remember this kid, Brock Tatton.
Yeah,
who caught 6 passes for 133 yards.
Macon East has got some really good skill guys. They're receivers and running backs, and they're really good players.
And of course, looking at them down the road, South Choctaw playing at Autauga. I don't see South Choctaw 8-4 having much of a chance, but you don't know.
No,
you couldn't have told me what was going to happen to you Friday night. But Edgewood 8-3. Against Hugh Fountain's team of Escambia Academy, 9-2, the defending state champion in 2A, a team that beat Autauga right here at Veterans Stadium last year.
Right, and Autauga beat them in the regular season, so
yeah, they did.
Yeah, and they beat them, beat them this year also.
Does he have a pretty good team?
He does. He does a great job.
Great guy, and he's one of the great people in coaching.
He really is. He's the headmaster down there this year.
Oh, is he? Oh, man, I don't know if he likes that or not.
Well, he's it's a little tough during football season. I was talking to him the other day. We had a meeting, and I was talking to him, and it's a little tough during football because but he told him he was going to go out to practice at 1 every day, and they could do whatever. But
he told me that if he ever needed anything, he just drove down the road. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's all he's got to do. He brought a few players in too. They got a good program.
Yeah, no question. And I'm happy I am happy that he's happy. He gave Charles Simpson 15 great years.
He did. He's a good guy, good coach.
Well, another Class 1A, Wilcox, 8-3 at Chambers, and of course Chambers is undefeated. Wilcox is 8-3. Chambers is coached by a good friend of mine, Tommy Garrett. He's not the head coach. He's the offensive coordinator. Is that right?
I think that's right. The head coach at Chambers is Jason Allen, and they played for the state championship the last 3 or 4 years, and I'm pretty sure.
So they're always good.
They'll get back. They say this is the best team that he's had the last few years, so it'll be interesting to see because I know that they're going to get the winner of Crenshaw and Southern, and Crenshaw's got a very good team, and Southern, from what I understand, has got a good team also. So. And
Southern's 8-2 out of Greensboro, if you don't know that, and been around a long time. Let me give you a little trivia question. Larry Blakeney's first job was at Southern Academy.
That's right.
Out of college, and of course he had fond memories of it. But what can you say about Wayne Grant?
He's done a good job. Wayne does. He's always done a great job, and like I said, their offensive line, defensive lines are so good. And
is he still doing everything between the tackles, or
pretty much? I mean, they do some spread stuff and throw it out there a little bit, but he pretty much does the same thing that he's always done. And they're real physical, and they play good defense, and they're always going to be in the game. He's going, they're going to be ready to play.
I was getting some of these cuts on how well some players played. John David Taylor, a running back out of Crenshaw, carried 11 times for 126 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also had 5 tackles and a fumble recovery in a 70-6 win over Pickens County, and they wore him out, didn't they?
He did. That kid, John David's a 10th grader, so he had some big runs against us, and we played him. He's gonna be a very good player.
Also, Kristen Holloway, a running back at Crenshaw, had 5 carries for 76 yards and a touchdown, and recorded 7 tackles in the 70-6 win.
Right.
And also a young man named Tanner Dillon. This is Crenshaw Christian of Luverne. Tanner caught 4 passes for 49 yards and 3 touchdowns. He threw the ball. He threw the ball quite a bit, didn't he?
You talking about Wayne? I don't think he threw but about 9 passes. His quarterback's probably listed in there somewhere.
The Mania Zurajakin, I don't know where he came from. He's a kicker from Crenshaw.
He's a
was
Serbian.
10 for 10.
He's a Serbian.
Yeah, well, they got a good one, and he was 10 for 10, and another great effort. And here Crenshaw is.
There's his quarterback.
The quarterback, Christian Jordan, the quarterback completed 9 out of 16 passes for 122 yards and 3 touchdowns. Also carried 6 times for 87 yards in that big win. So he's loaded, he's balanced. He doesn't have to run between the tackles all the time and control the ball. He just outscores folks now.
He does that well. Wayne's always been one of them that when you play, you better stop him because he said that's your job to stop him from scoring.
He's got to be Coach of the Year in the Alabama Independent Schools, in my opinion. He got the job when?
He got it beginning of the summer.
I mean, he had no idea, though, he was going to be coaching football this time last year.
No, not this time last year.
And he's well now, physically and everything, doing good?
He seems to be doing well. Like I said, I hadn't talked to him since we played him much, just a couple of times, but he seems to be doing really well.
He's one. I'll tell you something about him, and people say a lot of things about a lot of coaches, but the thing that I've always noticed about him is patience. He doesn't try to get it all at once. He'll run off tackle. I mean, you'll have some people try to run the reverses and the halfback passes. He didn't do things like that.
No, he don't do a lot of it. He really doesn't. He's pretty basic.
All right, coming to Troy now, not this weekend, but next weekend. I'm gonna get you down here.
Right.
All right, Glenwood and Bessemer. Who do you like?
I think Bessemer probably win.
All right, Macon East Montgomery. This is Class 3A. Playing at Veterans Memorial Stadium, 9-2 at Monroe, 11-0. The winners go to Troy.
Monroe.
Yeah, isn't that great to know that Troy is where everybody wants to go?
Yeah, heck yeah.
All right, Class 2A South Choctaw, and they've been doing this for a while. 8-4 at Autauga, 10-1. I just can't see them having much of a chance.
No, that'll be Autauga.
Autauga all the way. And Edgewood, who used to be coached by Coach Carr and won 80-something straight, or 60-something straight?
Yeah, 79 or something like that.
Some 9 straight games at one time at Edgewood, is trying to do the same thing at Autauga. Edgewood is good, but can they beat Escambia at Escambia?
I don't think so. I mean, Escambia,
okay,
they got another good football team. So it'll be Autauga and Escambia.
So you like Autauga and Escambia in the 2A championships.
Right.
And the 1A, Wilcox and Chambers, I got to go with Wilcox. What are your feeling there?
No, Chambers will kill Wilcox.
And then Southern Academy 8-2 against Crenshaw. Can Wayne Grant come back to Troy? Won't that be tickle a lot of people?
Yeah, he can. Southern's got a good football team. One of their losses was to Chambers.
Yeah,
it wasn't terrible, but Chambers is about you know, they're right now. That's
I'm going to take Crenshaw and Chambers. Boy, won't that be a great one? Crenshaw and Chambers. This is our prediction now. Autauga and Escambia, and Bessemer and Monroe. Boy, those are pretty good football teams.
There'll be some good games. Whoever's there, it's going to be some good
exactly.
games.
And, of course, they do it so very well here at Troy to have those 3 games. One of them starts at 12. One of them starts at 2:30 or 3. And then the other one starts at 7.
Right.
So it's a good football all day long.
It is. It's a good place to be.
And like I say, all these other towns are going to come, and a lot of these other kids are going to come. But what you're doing, you got 2, 4, 6 towns represented where entire communities are going to watch their team play for a state championship.
Right. It's going to be it's a good atmosphere.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, we appreciate our good friends at First National Bank of Troy Brundage, our good friend Jim Ramage, and all the great things he does for our community, and also a great supporter of Pike Liberal Arts School, and they are sponsored tonight's show. And Coach, you're a class young man. You know, a lot of coaches would say, "Well, I don't feel like coming in today," but you know what? You told it like it was, you know.
Well,
it wasn't necessarily your team wasn't ready to play. That other team was just on fire, wasn't it?
Well, they were good. They were good, and like I said, it was a rough week. But now we do have. I do want to mention we've got
six players in the All-Star game, don't we?
We've got 5 that made the All-Star team, but Grant was one of them. Grant won't be able to play since he had knee surgery yesterday. So,
and boy, when you lost him, you lost a 270-pounder, probably, wouldn't you say?
Well, he's not quite that big, but he's
your center, who was very important to your run game, and
really good defensive lineman.
And I was trying to find that group of kids, but we'll mention them on our show in the morning. Our shows today in L.A. every weekday morning starting at 7 o'clock. Coach, again, congratulations on a 10-2 season.
We appreciate it.
And we appreciate you being a part of this show. Brought to you again by First National Bank of Troy Brundage. Ladies and gentlemen, go Patriots.